Hello, everybody. Today I'm talking about all the reasons you might hate me in just a few minutes. I'm breaking down my 10 most controversial opinions about writing, writers, books, all that good stuff. These are my opinions that get people all riled up, but I don't give a shit. If you want to be coddled, this isn't the place for it. Behold my field of fucks and see that it is barren. Spoiler, numbers 1, 8, and 10 are the hills I will die on. And I'm not sorry about it. A quick announcement, thank you so much to everyone for the well wishes. If you missed the update, Cliff had to go to the hospital a whopping 3 times over the last month and a half. He spent a cumulative amount of about 3 weeks there. It was a fucking nightmare. Anywho, he has officially been discharged. He is finally improving. He even started walking again, so we are feeling really relieved and hopeful. A huge thank you to everyone for being so supportive and kind during this time, especially to Melanie, Kara, and Jasmine for their super generous gifts. You did not have to do that, and it really meant a lot to us, so thank you. We are hoping that now that we are on the upswing, it continues this way, and there will be no more hospital visits in the near future. While you're here, be sure to subscribe to my channel and ring that bell. I post new videos on Wednesdays unless there's chaos in my life and I'm at the hospital. Actually, I was still posting videos when we were at the hospital. Subscribe, just do it. The Savior's Champion and The Savior's Sister are available in ebook, paperback, hardback, and audiobook. They're available all over the place. You can get it at Amazon, you can get it at Barnes & Noble, you can get them on Audible, you can get them everywhere. I got them linked below. Check them out. And now it's time for some bitching and moaning. These are my most controversial opinions about the writing industry as a whole. That means the craft of writing, the people within the community, and the books I read. If you can relate to or agree with any of this, comment below. Misery loves company. Number 1, inspiration doesn't have to come from other writers. One of the most popular questions people ask me is, which writers inspired you to write? None of them. I get it. A ton of writers get into this gig because they read a book or a body of work by a particular author and they felt inspired. They vowed to write the next Great Gatsby or be the next Maya Angelou, and that is wonderful and valid. But plenty of writers don't fit that bill at all. In fact, looking at my writing circle, most of them found their inspiration in some other way, like I did. I found my love of writing through actually writing. In the 1st grade, once a week, we would devote the day to writing books and illustrating them and binding them with construction paper, and I fell in love with the process. It was the art of storytelling that captivated me, the fact that I can create whatever I want with 0 limits. Yes, reading is important to this career, and I love to read. It is fun and relaxing, and it helps improve my skills. But it absolutely does not have to be your source of inspiration, and anyone who tells you otherwise is stupid. Number 2, sometimes I really hate reading my favorite genres. I know this sounds counterintuitive, but hear me out. I've been deeply passionate about storytelling literally my whole life. Since I was 6, I have studied it, practiced it, and of course, I've read a shit ton of books. The problem with being a writer and a reader is that it makes you hyper analytical and critical. At least it does that with some of us. I don't know about you, but it did it to me. This is why reading my favorites, namely fantasy, sci-fi, and romance, becomes problematic. I can't turn off my writer brain. I can see your punctuation errors. I know when the story was pantsed. And when my favorite genres go into a direction I don't agree with, I get so fucking angry. For fantasy and sci-fi, that usually means neckbeard sexism, and for romance, that usually means romanticized abuse and assault. I can't get lost in the story and overlook these issues. All I can do is sit and simmer in rage. You're telling the story wrong, damn it! Because of this, I have a much easier time reading genres outside of my preference and expertise, like mysteries or thrillers, because I'm not as well versed in them, so I might not notice as many mistakes. But write a Greek mythology retelling that goes against my personal tastes, and I will shit a brick. This is exactly why writers are encouraged to write what they want to read. Number 3, your characters aren't real. I was going to name my character Sarah, but she pouted and whined until I finally named her Ruby. I was going to make Ruby's love interest the prince, but she absolutely refused to get along with him and clearly had a thing for the mysterious thief. I was going to write today, but Ruby would not behave, so I'm just gonna write next week instead. This is not cute or quirky, it's dodging accountability. We all see it. Yes, our characters are important to us. We get caught up in their emotions, their growth, and their depth. But they are not real people, nor are they at fault for any of your missteps. If Ruby is a better fit as a name for your character, just say that. If you realized Ruby's character type would have better chemistry with the thief versus the prince, say that too. And if you're struggling to write today, just admit it. But putting the blame on make-believe people just helps you relinquish ownership, which will prevent you from finishing the book. Number 4, people are way too weird about writing sex scenes. Just because my characters are getting laid doesn't mean I want to hear about your fisting exploits, Deborah. Whenever I talk about writing a sex scene, people get so gross. They act as if I'm masturbating right there in that moment.
Oh ho ho, getting thirsty, are we? Naughty naughty, Jenna.
Calm the fuck down. It's fiction. It's not actually happening. I'm literally just typing words on a page. Obviously, I want the content to come off as sexy, but I'm not writing my personal fantasy. I'm writing what makes sense for the story and the characters. So please stop trying to make the sex scene process feel like a dirty little secret. You don't need to sexualize me. My genitals aren't involved, and it's weird that you're thinking about them. Number 5, dragons are overrated. They're sky lizards. Who cares? There are way cooler mythical creatures out there. That's it. That's the whole point. Number 6, shelfies suck. Or at least some of them do. We all love a good bookshelf. They're comforting, they're wholesome, they're an aesthetic. And then there are shelfies featuring walls upon walls of unread books, often organized by the rainbow, and everyone goes apeshit for them, except me. Whenever I talk to people who have these types of bookshelves, they usually tell me that they purposely bought books of a specific color just to create the rainbow pattern. Have they read these books? Of course not. Do they plan to read them? Well, no, not really. Thanks, I hate it. The minimalist in me is horrified by the clutter. The organizer in me is disgusted that they have separated entire series just to keep the color coordination going. The writer in me is appalled that you're buying books with no intention of reading them. And the financial analyst in me knows exactly why you're struggling to pay rent. For what it's worth, it's totally fine if this is your vibe. Pursue your bliss. It's your house. Do as you please. It just ain't for me. Number 7, the cliche word is overused. You could almost say that calling something cliche has become cliche. Let's get some shit straight. A trope is a storytelling device often used throughout fictional media. A cliche, when it comes to tropes, is a trope that has been used so often and in the exact same format that it has become trite. There are definitely cliches in abundance when it comes to all fictional media, like love triangles and fridging a woman, but you can't call every single trope or every single plot point you dislike a cliche. I mean, you can, but you just sound stupid. For example, I once heard someone say that car accidents in fiction were so cliche, which is the dumbest shit I've ever heard. There are 6 million car accidents in the US alone per year. That's over 16,000 accidents a day in one country. It's not a cliche, it's just a regular occurrence in everyday life. It's fine if you're not into what you're reading, just use the right terminology. The pedants are judging you. Number 8, young adult doesn't need to be more adult. Every time I say this, someone hops into my DMs like, but Jenna! The young adult category is a category created for readers ages 12 to 18. Thus, it features content for readers 12 to 18. You know, children. But due to the rise in popularity in the young adult category, publishers have started bending the rules to allow for racier content, including graphic sex. And when people advocate for keeping YA a space for young teens, readers, usually 30-something-year-old white women, get angry. I like reading about minors fucking. And no, that's not weird at all. Isn't it though? A lot of people argue that they want adult content in young adult fiction because they can't find what they're looking for in adult fiction. I'm calling bullshit. Adult fiction is the largest fiction category, and romance is literally the most popular genre in the world. And guess what? Romance is primarily adult, and a lot of romance novels are erotic. But Jenna, I don't want just romance, I want fantasy and sci-fi. You mean like fantasy romance or sci-fi romance? Because those exist too, in adult literature. There's just no excuse to demand that a children's category add a bunch of boners when those books already exist. But let's be real, you're just embarrassed to read adult romance or erotica because of internalized misogyny. Number 9, writers take themselves too seriously. I see it in every genre, category, and community. Writers acting like their work is the pinnacle of artistic expression. And don't get me wrong, it's important, it's valuable, it's your passion, but it's just words on a page. You're writing werewolves fucking, not the Declaration of Independence, and even that document was flawed. There are fan fiction writers demanding the same respect as original writers, as if original writers get any respect at all. No one likes us, we suck. There are original writers claiming to have written the next great American novel and then going off on public diatribes when no one buys it. I recently saw an author whose Amazon bio was all about how all writers are trash except for him. He's an unappreciated genius, and this was all triggered because he compared a woman's breasts to eggplants in one of his books. I wish I could make this make sense, but I can't. The point is, writers, calm down. What we do is meaningful, but it's also fun. We get to play make-believe for a living. Yes, we all deserve respect, but that's because all human beings in general deserve respect. Dial it back a notch, you're scaring the children. And number 10, writers deserve to get paid. Writers and pretty much all creators and artists in general tend to get a lot of heat whenever they ask for money in return for their labor. Back when I used to do critiques, I lost track of the number of people who would ask me to read their work and then get super angry when I gave them my rates. Clearly, I should spend hours of my workday polishing their manuscript for free. After all, think of the exposure. People are always asking for free books, sometimes within the author's own family or social circle. But it's especially gross when it's writers shaming other writers for supporting themselves off their work. I've seen writers on YouTube shame other writers for monetizing their content. I've seen writers shame other writers for pricing their ebooks anywhere above 99 cents. It's fantastic if you're in a financial situation where you can afford to do that, where you can work at this job and make zero income and have no issues. Honestly, that's a dream come true. But for a lot of people, writing is how we support our families and pay the bills. We can't do this for free. As long as you are being ethical, honest, and true to your audience, I support any creator who is monetizing their craft because artists deserve to get paid. But remember, the ethical and honest part are really important. Scammers can fuck off to hell. So that's all I got for you today. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel. I post new videos on Wednesdays, and if you want to be alerted as soon as I upload, ring that bell. The Savior's Champion and the Savior Sister are available all over the place in ebook, paperback, hardback, and audiobook, so be sure to check them out right now. I got them linked below. And be sure to follow me on social media. I'm on Instagram, Tumblr, Facebook, and BookBub, and of course you can tweet me at Jenna Moreci. Bye!
It's Shelfie. Get off your lazy bum and subscribe to Jenna's channel. Ring the bell while you're at it. I know you were thinking about it already. I see it in your eyes. Come on. Live a little. Subscribe.